Friends, enemies, assorted potted plants. There's enough bad news in the world right now. There's enough bad things happening that you know about and I know about. I don't want to talk about that. I don't just want to talk about that. I feel like we need some positivity. And so, I have spent a great deal of time and effort and energy making this a more positive video. I wouldn't usually front-load this part, but I feel like our community does need more positivity, and I want to be a vector for that positivity. So, share this video. The message is positive, and I want people to take away a positive message in their lives. Share this video to Twitter, because I'm not on Twitter. Share it to Facebook. Share it to, I don't know, Discord, or wherever else you share your videos. Because we need more positivity. There's enough doom and gloom. Let's start fighting that compulsion to just stare into the void. Let's make something else. Speaking of something else, there's this old movie, a movie from 2006 called Man of the Year. It's about 1/3 or 1/2 the Manchurian Candidate, and the other half of the movie is, what if Keith Olbermann had Jon Stewart's job and then ran for president in 2006? This chimeric individual, this Keith Oberstewart, as my notes say, his name in the movie is Tom Dobbs, is also played by Robin Williams, which is always a treat. There's a scene in the movie that I distinctly remember where Dobbs is sitting in a dark room, sort of contemplating to himself, ruminating. And you're meant to understand that as he is ruminating, he decides to abandon conventional politics. He decides to just throw off the idea that he is a quote-unquote serious politician and just do his thing. And it's interesting because what he says is not... he has a show that is a combination of Countdown with Keith Olbermann and The Daily Show with Jon Stewart, but he doesn't say something like, oh, I need to be more like myself, or I need to treat this like a ratings game. He says that he was tricked. He says that the politicians convinced him that if he played by their game, he would win. But that's not how he wins. That's how they win. I don't remember a whole lot else from that movie. I remember bits and pieces of the scene where Robin Williams is in a powdered wig and just excoriating Congress. And I remember, the basics of the plot. But I remember that scene where Dobbs decides not to be a politician. So, Trump. I said in my last video, which was a very negative video, that Donald John Trump was above the law. And that whether or not he was arrested did not matter, because regular people like you and me understood the score. He's above the law. It doesn't matter. I maintain that. As a matter of function, I maintain that. But I want it to be understood that we can still fight back. We can still bring repercussions to people who are above the system, who the systems that we operate under have neither the ability nor the motive to punish. And it's simple. A lot of people, so very many people, are convinced that they need to follow the rules, that they need to abide by the tenets of systems that are hostile to them and their lives, that they need to do what they are told by their betters. You'll see this in almost any major rally, right? Almost any major political action done by an ostensibly a respectable political group, right? They disperse after 8, they stay on the sidewalk, they tell you to talk to a politician and to wear a suit and tie while you're doing it. I want to be very clear when I say this. You are never going to defeat a system that is hostile to your very existence, and capitalism and our methods of governance are hostile to your very existence. You are never going to beat that system by following the rules they tell you to follow. You're going to beat those systems by disrupting them. And that disruption isn't difficult. You march on the streets instead of the sidewalk. Disrupt traffic. That will get people's attention, one way or the other. You stay out after 8 o'clock, after midnight, maybe stay out until 2 in the morning. Get people together. Talk about what your grievances with your local politicians are, or your federal politicians are. Maybe start planning ways to get that message out, or get that message to people who would be affected by it. That would get people's attention. That's a way you could start affecting change. And here's the important one, which is the thing that I've been banging a drum about for years. Don't talk to politicians. Don't talk to your elected representatives, because talking to them is like talking to a wall. Nothing is going to happen in the federal government as long as Mitch McConnell is in power. That's just fact numero uno. Instead of that, go to your local party headquarters, which is going to be a county party headquarters, and start making demands of the people there. Or, even better, find out who the donors are to your politicians, who's giving your politicians money, and make demands of those people in the place they work. That will get people's attention. That, if it's done widely enough, will start fomenting change. That will be a disruption. And disruptions work. We know this. Trump isn't important. I maintain that, right? At least he isn't important to ordinary people, because we know the score. But Trump is important, incredibly important, to politicians, to business people, lobbyists, to political operatives, and the people who influence them. And he's important because Donald Trump was a successful disruption of the status quo. For good or for ill. For ill, entirely. Donald Trump more successfully disrupted our political system than anyone in history by far. He was the president for a while, you know. And he was able to disrupt that political system by playing from an entirely different book than the rest of the politicians. That book was fascism. That book was just populist fascism with a little bit of mafioso respectability politics on top for flavor. But it worked. It worked. He used it well, and it worked. And that's not me saying that whatever we need to do, we need to descend into fascism and mafioso respectability politics. No. What I'm saying is that in order to successfully disrupt these systems that we operate under, whatever we do, it needs to be more disruptive than Donald Trump. And we can do that. That's not even hard. I'm sorry that this took so long for the people who've been waiting for this. As I said to someone in a comment, I take positivity and I take hope very seriously. I'm going to make a video about why I take it seriously, probably in this batch of videos. Again, please share this video, distribute it as widely as you feel that you're able. This is a positive video. I'm saying that we can change things by standing in the street, right? That's fun. Maybe fun is the wrong word, but, like, we can change things. And we need to know how to change things. You know where the likes are, you know where the comments are. You can leave one or both if you care to. I still don't have the funds to escape the vague... I still don't have the funds to escape the beige void, which still is not a pressing issue, but if you have a couple of dollars to spare to contribute to the beige void escape fund, I sure would appreciate that. The next video that I have on the docket, the next outline that I have on the docket, is about specific political things that are happening, and how we can specifically disrupt those things. So yeah. Until we get there, go out, take care of yourselves, alright? I didn't say that right. Go out, do something important, and take care of yourselves.